Wait, what is that? See it? It's amazing how much attention an awesome-looking tattoo can attract. That's what I learned after completing my samurai forearm piece with Rachel. Even people that would never ever get one themselves showed enthusiasm. But this time around, a friend of mine was hearing the call of Tuibiki, the sound of tattooing, or otherwise known as distant echo.
I'm Andrew.
Nice to meet
Shelley.
you, Andrew.
Shelley is a breast cancer survivor and would like to commemorate her triumph with a tattoo of a pink ribbon with butterfly wings on the back of her shoulder. Her friend Sandy is supporting her by getting the same design on the opposite side. Shelley asked me if I would check out a shop she was referred to and give her my opinion on the shop's legitimacy. Shelley, like many others, has been apprehensive about getting tattoos and was uncertain about health and safety and artist best practice. I was more than willing to help anyone suffering from tattoo fever, and because that's what Distant Echo is all about.
My name is Andrew Skinner. We're here at Skinner Inc. This studio here has been in operation for 1 year. I've been tattooing myself for 6 years. I have a long background in the field of art, private art courses since a young age. Was supposed to go to Sheridan College for animation. Found my way into tattooing. Been happy ever since. We came up to the south end of Barrie as opposed to being downtown, strictly for the sole purpose of the type of clientele that we bring in. We have less drunks and crackheads walking in our shop, and more or less more people, a lot of people coming in for their first tattoos become repeat customers. Most people coming in here, I would say anywhere from 18 right up to 50s and that. The majority of them are an upscale clientele. Maybe the people that necessarily wouldn't normally go into a tattoo studio. But this is a comfortable environment, and a lot of people feel more comfortable in here than most places. Health and safety would probably be one of the biggest key factors in this industry. A lot of people really don't take it as seriously as they should. I've been working directly with the health department over the course of the last year. When they first inspected our initial setup on the Unit 20, we had a write-off right away. There was nothing that was out of place or that we needed. There was actually equipment and procedures that we use that they had never heard of prior to our inspection. After that, they requested that every so often they bring in their students of the health department to our studio so that we can teach them proper protocol and standards with any shifts or changes that might come in the industry. When we had our first inspection and they started bringing in their students, they were actually starting to request that we start to get more involved with the health department and try to come along with a new protocol for every studio to follow properly. Most studios kind of just whip through the inspections and kind of go along with whatever it is that they're asking them if they do. The big chance is that they just sit there and just nod their head, yes I do this, yes I do this. Chances are they don't. When the health department comes in here, I don't wait for them to ask me any questions. We go right ahead and show them before they have the opportunity to ask us if we do things. That way we can show them that we're not just nodding our head to whatever they have to say, we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing. Once you actually start the tattoo, depending on the area of your tattoo, there'll be a barrier film put down on any item, that whether it be in the barber chair or any massage tables that we use. So there's a barrier film down for that, which acts as the same as these to prevent cross-contamination in between clients. With how many illegal operations of tattoo and body piercing there are in Simcoe County alone, I think that they need to be a little bit more strict. They've started this year to kind of crack down on the amount of studios that are operating illegally. Before now, it wasn't necessary for you to fax in your spore test results each month. Beforehand, they waited till their inspections to make sure that you had all your proper documentation. However, if something happened within that time, they wouldn't know a thing about it. Unfortunately, a lot of studios would operate with non-properly autoclaving, systems, And now what they're trying to do is they're getting their sport test results faxed to them each month as soon as you get it. If they don't receive those, they will come in and step forth. Beforehand, it was a matter of, the health department got involved once a year to do their inspection, and it was nothing besides that, unless somebody called in and made a comment about the studio, whether or not they weren't doing this or that, and there was a concern. Then the health department would get involved. Unfortunately, you kind of have to step up a notch from that. There's 12 months in a year, and there's a lot that can happen within 1 month that, could go unnoticed. Back in the day, we used to make our own needles. So when you made your own needles, they came out of a package like this. Okay. Now the problem with these types of packages is that you don't know for sure that it's a brand new needle.
Right.
Okay. There's nothing stopping a person from scrubbing that needle clean, putting it in the autoclave, and trying to pass it off as a brand new needle. Okay. Unfortunately, that's not unheard of. That's why we go this route. This is a non-tamper-proof packaging that we buy straight from the manufacturer. You guys can both take a look at one of those.
Okay. Yep.
And it has indicators, expiry dates, and this is a package, like I said, that you can't mess around. This isn't something that I packaged or anything like that.
Right.
These get opened up right in front of you. I'd like to see stronger guidelines. I'd like to see everybody implemented with the same guidelines that a tattoo artist, somebody serious in the industry, has set forth. Somebody who knows what they're doing. One thing that I found is that the health department doesn't necessarily know, everything about the tattoo industry. They're going with what the government has set forth. Unfortunately, the government doesn't really know everything about the tattoo industry or what could be done better. I'd like to see the health department more involved. I'd like to see better documentation of everything. Maybe even 2 sport tests a month or something like that to break it up. Something could go wrong halfway through your month after your 1 sport test result comes back and you wouldn't know anything about it. It'd be good if we can send 2 sport tests away a month. Some people do, most people don't. Some people don't even do the 1 test a month. I'd like to see the health department get more involved and have, maybe 1 inspection a month or something like that instead of 1 inspection a year. I think that there should be a separate off-branch of the government strictly for this industry. A good close to half of the tattoos that we do here are repair work of other people's work. Even whether it's something that was just very, very old and needs to be retouched, or whether or not somebody has just had a horrible, horrible job at another studio and wants to feel comfortable walking around with a permanent piece of work on their arm.
It was much better than I thought it was going to be.
Did it hurt?
No, not at all. Just that 1 spot.
Yeah? And what would you describe it as feeling like, though?
It was just irritating. There was 1 spot I couldn't even feel it, just because of noise. That's what I could hear.
Yeah.
It's almost like kind of my back was numb or something.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it felt like.
Yeah? So you're happy that you got the tattoo?
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And the experience was good?
Yes, it was very good.
Not very often do most people, I would say, even know that they have a blood-borne disease. We take a chance every day in, assuming that people know whether or not they have one, and at that point being honest on the waiver form whether or not they have a blood-borne disease. That's why we have to take proper precautions in order to make sure that the customer and ourselves are perfectly safe for the procedure. At the same time, we have had 2 gentlemen come in, not naming names or the studio they were from, but they were from a studio that was recently shut down for having a non-properly sterilizing autoclave, and they had to go get their blood work tested because there was a big Hep C breakout because of that. We told them that until they got their results back and had proof of their results, that we would not tattoo them. This is an industry where you're not at Walmart, you're not at McDonald's. It's not, necessarily always the customer is always right. We have to do what's in the best for ourselves and for future clients as well. If somebody has something like HIV or anything like that, it is a very dangerous circumstance. If we don't choose to work on that person, we don't work on them. I think with anybody, researching your artist is a good tool. Pretty much every artist that you go to will have a different style. I find that in most places, a lot of people, I don't want to call them bargain hunters, but a lot of the times that's what it ends up being. Mainly just go for the cheapest price, as opposed to the artist who's best for the job. If people properly research their artist and find the artist that they're most comfortable with as a person, and then as well most comfortable with their artwork, that would be the best way for them to go about it. Just go from studio to studio. Don't necessarily, ask for quotes on prices or anything like this, but definitely check portfolios, definitely talk with an artist. Find out if the artist is somebody that you can sit down with a couple hours and get along with. See if that artist can let you leave the room smiling at the end of the day, and see if you want to come back to that artist. That would be the big thing.
But I like it. I like it a lot.
When you ask your artist or looking for documentation, definitely check for spore test results, check for their certificate of health inspection, and make sure that everything's in proper documents.
Initially, yes, there was some kind of pain involved. And then it went away after it went numb. And then I really didn't feel it at all. And it went so fast. Like, I thought he was just doing the outline, and all of a sudden, he was applying the color. So it did really go quick. And it was great. And I come back. It wasn't bad at all.
Was it what you expected it to be, or?
Actually, it was better. It was better, actually. Yeah.
Hi, Sam, how do you feel?
I feel good. You feel good?
You're the best. I do.
He was the best.
From the top of the way, we only pay interest in the unbelievable. I salute the overboard and take the rest, take the best.